I'm Marilyn Shannon, and I'm here to welcome you to another conversation from the Psychic Roundtable. Today, we're going to talk about magic, and I've discovered there's all sorts of ways to do magic. And here to tell us a way to get started is Rhonda Devlin Gilbert. See if I can get your name right. Hello, Rhonda.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for joining us here on Zoom and getting us all straightened up. There's some magic in getting all of the things needed to do Zoom, I think. So,
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
so tell me how should I start if I wanted to start doing magic? What is your starting point?
Well, it's interesting that you bring up the starting point because when you study the craft or magic, things like that, one of the first magics you study is actually candle magic. And there's other disciplines within that, but candle magic is one of the first. It's the one that stays with you because you use it in pretty much every ritual after that. Candle magic is also something that cuts across the whole board. It's used in many different faiths and religions. I grew up a Catholic, and I remember going in as a kid and lighting the candle for Mary or Saint Anthony or whatever. And little did I know I was kind of practicing a little bit of candle magic even then, because candle magic is about taking a candle, and it's a very easy process, but it's one of those things that it's so easy to do, but it takes a lifetime to master. And it's about setting your intention and setting it within the candle and then lighting the candle so that the magic is released, so that you're able to either bring that intention to you or release whatever needs to be released, depending on which way you want to go.
So you can bring something to you, or you can let it go from you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Candles are, they burn away things as well as bringing in things.
And which do people do more often?
It's hard to say. I find that it's sort of an equal balance.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to release, like you could burn a candle to release debt, for instance, if you're going down the money route, or you could release the hurt and betrayal that you might have in a relationship, and you're burning the cord that's tying you still to that relationship. So it can go either way, or you can bring in the warmth of abundance, or the warmth of a new love. So you can go either way, and I find it's about 50-50. Sometimes people start with releasing, and then they can bring in stuff once they let go of things.
So I have a package of 102 tea lights. Should I light them all up?
Well, that would make your room very warm. But I tend to favor bigger candles. I have some here that I brought so that I could show people, but I like tapers, for instance. I have like pillar candles. There's special candles. These are like 7, 8, 9 knob candles, they're called. And the cool thing about the knobs is you light this and you burn it for however long the first knob goes. And then the next day you burn the second knob, and the third day and the fourth day and so on. And I tend to like these kind of candles instead because it makes you kind of focus on where you're going and what you want, and sort of cements in your intention, and it kind of creates a mindfulness around your intention. It's not just lighting a tea light and 4 hours later, yeah, money's going to come in or whatever.
So what I'm hearing from you is that I have to actually do something. I can't just light that candle and blow it out at bedtime and say, yep, done that. I,
If only it were that easy. Magic, I know in TVs they make it look like it's easy and you just twinkle your nose if you are of the bewitched era, or you get zapping from your fingertips, but it's really not that easy. Magic is work. It's a skill set like anything else. And the more you do it, the stronger you get at it. And you do have to work, like you say. And even with the candles, you have to dress them with oil, put that intention in. You can carve in symbols if you want to set that intention. And even when you light a candle, say in a church, it's not just lighting it and going. You're supposed to say a prayer with that candle as well. So, with when you're using magic, you might use a spell, but I always say a spell is very much like a prayer, and there is work. And what I like about this one, it makes you work. This one makes you work because it makes you have to burn it for a certain amount of time every day, kind of thing.
It's a measured process,
Mm-hmm.
really.
So
Yes, yes. So if I want to cast a spell or do dirt onto someone, can I do that?
yes,
A
you
negative.
can.
Can I send her out to someone?
Absolutely. You can send hurt out. However, there are repercussions for that. So you have to be, again, mindful of that. To think that there isn't dark magic or dark intentions or people that are malicious out there is, sort of a fallacy. So there are people that want to send out hurt to people. Sometimes it's simply because they've been hurt themselves. But for the most part, you have to be very mindful about doing stuff like that. I don't tend to send out hurt because it will come back to you. I I know that a lot of people out there, if they know about the craft and stuff, they think immediately the threefold law. I'm not a big believer in the threefold law. I'm more of a scientific witch, as I call myself, and I tend to think of it. The scientific principle is every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if you're sending negative out there, negative will come back to you, not necessarily in the three um, times the strength, because it's the opposite and equal reaction. So yeah, you're going to pay the price for that negativity that you send out. So be careful what you wish for, kind of thing.
Sound advice, actually. I have no desire to send negative energy out to anyone because I think that's a waste of good intention myself. Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. I can get in enough trouble by myself without having someone send it back at me. But people do get worried about curses and things. I've had people who say, "Oh, I was cursed and I've never been right since." Are we able to undo that?
Absolutely. And you can do that with your own candle magic as well. And the thing about curses is a lot of people, when someone casts a curse, for instance, um, the point of the curse is to let the person know that you've done the curse. So it kind of gets in their own head. So they're helping to fulfill that other person's negative wish, magic, spell, curse, whatever you want to call it. So you're giving power to that curse by believing your curse. And it's not simply just a matter of, well, I don't believe in curses. It's a matter of setting your mindset that I will not allow this curse to influence me. And you can also light a candle for protection from your spirit guides, or to cut the cord with that person so that they cannot influence you, and setting up a shield against that person, counteracting their curse. You can light candles for all those different intentions, which will help you change your mindset and reframe it so that you don't feel cursed. Because feeling cursed is playing into that person's magic and fulfilling their spell.
Yes, I think sometimes the magic of words is forgotten because
Oh
that's
yeah.
what that curse has done. The words have been planted. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. So, how do I learn more about this candle magic business?
Well, I actually do courses. I have my book here. So I have a very old book. This is an old version of my spells, wicks, and candlesticks, is what I call it. And I teach you how to work with candles, the different kinds of candles. I even go into pyromancy, which is where you're reading the flame and you're doing divination through the flame. You can also read the wax. You can also read the smoke. There's all kinds of signals that a candle can give you. And I teach you how to read all those signals, as well as how to dress, bless, and anoint your candles and set your intentions and be able to do some candle magic.
Sounds intriguing. What fascinates me is this business of dressing the candles. And I believe you create candles that already have some things built in.
Yes, I do. I have my fairy candles. So this is an example of one of my fairy candles. They're always better in real life, but they're a pillar candle, so you can see they're nice and thick. And you'll see also here I've dressed it with herbs that are especially delightful to the fairies. I'm a certified fairyologist, so I wanted to come up with something that I could do that was fairy related, and I created these fairy candles. They're very colorful because the fairies love colors. And then, like I said, I dressed it with herbs, things like lavender and roses and all the flowers and herbs that the fairies really love. And what I've done is put the intention of joy and happiness and bliss and abundance into the candles. Some are specially made for certain intentions, but for the most part, they're made with that, bringing that happiness and that joy into life. And the magic of the candle, I know it's pretty and it's hard to burn pretty candles, but the magic isn't released until you light the candle and burn it.
You talk too about sitting and watching the flame of the candle. I mean, we're not doing campfires these days. We're not sitting around that fire. So spending time with that flame and your intention can be very beneficial, you said to me.
Absolutely. It's a lot like a meditation. And if you've ever watched a fire, if you've ever, been around a campfire or in front of a fireplace, just sitting with the candle and looking at the fire and the flame, it's a very soothing process, and it's a very meditative process. And it's amazing what you'll see in the flame. And the flame will sometimes dance for you a little bit, and you can even see little figures and pictures in there if you really concentrate. But you have to be mindful, and it's a very meditative type of thing, and it puts your mind in that state of where you want your intention to be and where you want your mind to go, because your mind is the beginning of where you go in life.
Truly it is. When I was checking out your Etsy shop, because I'd like to buy some of these wonderful candles, and how do we find your Etsy shop? Tell me that.
Okay, yeah, great. The Etsy shop is called Goddess Garage Canada, and on there I have my fairy candles among other things. But I have my fairy candles, and I have it so that they're custom made, because I do custom make some candles for people. People will ask me for certain colors, for certain intentions, that sort of thing. But there's like this guy, for instance, he's available up there too. He's pictured on the Etsy shop. And like I said, you can find me on Goddess Garage Etsy. I mean, Goddess Garage Canada. Sorry.
On
And Etsy
Etsy.
online.
Where else can we find you, Rhonda?
You can find me on Facebook. I'm most often on Facebook. So it's Goddess Garage on Facebook that you can find me. I do have an Instagram account, but it's harder to find me there because I'm not there as much. So Facebook and Etsy are the two definite places to look for me.
When I was checking out the Etsy shop, the expression Sherpa of spirituality is the phrase that you used for what you do. And we've only talked about candle magic today, but tell me quickly, sort of in a list, all of the other wonderful things that you can help people with, or the tools you use.
Yes, like you say, I do a number of things. As you know from being a tarot reader, that it's sort of a rabbit hole you can go down, and you start expanding out to all kinds of other things. So I do all kinds of things like I said, I'm a certified fairyologist. I'm a certified life coach. I'm a ninth degree um, uh, Reiki grandmaster. I'm a crystal healer. I also do numerology and astrology. So I bring a lot in my toolbox to help anybody with whatever issues they have in life, or however they want to pivot themselves, or how they want to grow in life. I definitely have a toolbox and a tool in there that can help you out in some way.
Thank you for talking with us today, Rhonda. This is fascinating. I really didn't understand candle magic at all. I'm not ashamed to say it, but I'm thrilled to know more about it. And I think I'll get the proper candle instead of my 102 tea lights.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I was so thrilled to have been here and to share some of my candle magic knowledge.
Thank you, and we will talk to you again, Rhonda. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.